Good evening, dear listener. My name is Mrinmoy, and I am your storyteller tonight. I invite you to find a comfortable position, to let your body sink into your bed, and to allow my voice to carry you to a place of wonder and peace. This is a story of an ancient city, of moonlit temples, and of a journey that will soothe your spirit and guide you into the deepest, most restful sleep. Let us begin. Under a velvet sky sparkling with countless stars, Dr. Alara Voss stepped quietly into the warm night air of Siem Reap. The world around her felt hushed, as though the very atmosphere had wrapped itself in a blanket of stillness, waiting for something sacred to unfold. She had traveled many miles to reach this place, her heart carrying the weight of years of study and longing. Yet now that she was here, all that academic urgency seemed to melt away like morning mist. The air was thick with the scent of frangipani and damp earth, mingling together in a perfume that seemed to belong to another time entirely. Crickets sang their gentle lullabies from the shadows of ancient trees, their rhythmic chorus rising and falling like the breath of the sleeping city itself. Alara paused for a moment, closing her eyes, letting the sounds and smells wash over her. She could feel the faint pulse of history beneath her feet, the echoes of 1,000 years of footsteps, prayers, and peaceful living. A soft footfall on the path behind her made her turn. There stood Sak, his kind face illuminated by the silver light of the rising moon. His smile carried the wisdom of his ancestors, gentle and knowing, as though he had been expecting her arrival for centuries. His eyes held the deep brown warmth of the earth, and when he spoke, his voice was like honey flowing slowly over warm stones. "Welcome, Dr. Voss," he said, his words soft and musical. "The temples have been waiting for you. They knew you would come." Beside him stood Lena, her quiet presence like that of a night bird watching from the trees. Her eyes sparkled with curiosity, and in her hands she held a small drone that hummed with a gentle, sleepy sound. She was young, perhaps only 20, but there was an ancient knowing in the way she moved, as though she had walked these paths in another life. Together, the three of them began their journey along the moonlit paths that wound through the darkness. The ground beneath their feet was made of ancient stones, worn smooth by the passage of countless pilgrims over the centuries. Each step felt like a small prayer, a quiet acknowledgement of the sacred ground they walked upon. A silver full moon hung low in the sky, so large and bright that it seemed to fill the entire horizon. Its light spilled across the landscape like liquid pearl, bathing everything in a soft, dreamy glow. The lotus ponds that lined the path reflected the moon's face, their surfaces rippling gently with the movements of sleeping fish and night insects. The water lilies had closed their petals for the night, but their presence was still felt, their perfume rising like incense in the warm air. The great towers of Angkor Wat began to emerge from the darkness, their distinctive lotus-shaped spires reaching toward the heavens like fingers of stone and prayer. They glowed softly in the moonlight, the ancient sandstone taking on a warm, honeyed hue that made the temples seem alive, breathing, dreaming. Alara felt her breath catch in her throat. She had seen photographs, studied architectural plans, read countless descriptions, but nothing had prepared her for the profound beauty of this place at midnight. The wind whispered through the trees, and Alara could have sworn she heard words in its gentle rustling. It was like an old friend saying welcome, a voice from the distant past reaching across time to embrace her. The leaves of the banyan trees swayed in slow, hypnotic patterns, their aerial roots reaching down like the fingers of sleeping giants. Sak walked ahead of them, his steps sure and unhurried. He knew these paths as intimately as he knew the lines on his own palms. Sometimes he would pause to point out a carving hidden in the shadows, or to share a quiet story about the temple's history. His voice was low and soothing, like the drone of a distant temple bell. "The stones remember everything," he said softly, touching a weathered wall with reverence. "They remember the prayers, the footsteps, the laughter, the tears. They hold all of it inside them, like a great peaceful heart." Lena's drone hummed quietly above them, its small lights blinking like fireflies. It moved in lazy circles, capturing images that would later become memories, but never disturbing the sacred stillness of the night. Lena watched it with a peaceful smile, her fingers occasionally moving to adjust its gentle flight path. Alara felt the tension of her long journey slowly seeping out of her body. The hours on airplanes, the rush through airports, the anxiety of travel, all of it was dissolving like sugar in warm tea. She allowed herself to breathe deeply, filling her lungs with the fragrant air, feeling her shoulders drop and her jaw relax. The path led them through a gateway carved with intricate patterns, the sandstone worn smooth by centuries of hands and weather. Alara reached out and touched the stone, feeling its cool surface against her fingertips. It was rough and smooth at the same time, warm despite the night air, as though it had absorbed the heat of 1,000 sunsets and was now releasing it slowly. They walked deeper into the temple complex, the grand towers growing larger as they approached. The architecture was so perfectly proportioned that it seemed to belong to another dimension, a place where mathematics and art and spirituality had merged into a single expression of human devotion. Every angle, every curve, every carving seemed to point toward the heavens, yet remained firmly rooted in the earth. A breeze swept through the galleries, carrying with it the faint sound of distant chanting. Alara looked around, wondering if there were monks still awake in some hidden corner of the temple. But Sak simply smiled and shook his head gently. "It is the stones remembering," he said. "They sing sometimes, when the moon is full and the air is still." Lena's drone descended to hover beside her, its humming blending with the wind's music. The three travelers continued their journey, their footsteps soft on the ancient stones, their hearts open to whatever wonders the night might reveal. The lotus ponds reflected the stars now, tiny pinpricks of light dancing on the dark water. A fish leaped briefly, creating ripples that distorted the celestial mirror for a moment before the surface grew still again. Alara watched this tiny drama with complete absorption, finding in it a profound sense of peace. They came to a wide courtyard where the moonlight pooled like water, illuminating the intricate carvings that covered every surface. Apsaras, celestial dancers, adorned the walls, their frozen poses capturing moments of eternal grace. Their fingers curved in gentle mudras, their faces serene and knowing. Alara walked slowly along the wall, letting her eyes trace the lines of their forms. "These are the guardians of the temple," Sak explained, his voice barely above a whisper. "They dance to keep the energy flowing, to maintain the balance between the worlds. They have been dancing here for 1,000 years, and they will dance for 1,000 more." Lena knelt beside a particular carving, her fingers hovering just above the stone without touching. "I can feel the warmth," she said softly. "Even here, in the middle of the night, the stone is warm." Alara knelt beside her, and yes, she could feel it too, a gentle heat emanating from the ancient sandstone, as though the temple had its own heartbeat, its own circulation of energy. It was subtle, easy to miss, but once felt impossible to deny. The night deepened around them, the stars wheeling slowly overhead in their eternal dance. The temple's towers cast long shadows that shifted with the movement of the moon, creating an ever-changing landscape of light and darkness. Alara found herself losing track of time, sinking into a state of peaceful awareness that was both alert and deeply relaxed. Sak gestured for them to continue, and they rose as one, moving deeper into the heart of the temple. The passageways grew narrower, the ceilings lower, the air cooler. The walls here were covered in a different kind of carving, scenes of daily life, of harvests and celebrations, of people living and loving and working and resting. "Look," Lena whispered, pointing to a carving of a woman with a child. "They're sleeping. Just like us, they sleep." Indeed, the figures in the carving were depicted in various states of rest, some curled on mats, some leaning against each other, some with their heads on pillows. It was a timeless scene, one that could have been from any era, any culture. The universality of rest, of peace, of the simple act of sleeping. Alara felt her eyelids growing heavy, her breath slowing to match the rhythm of the carvings around her. The temple was inviting her to rest, to let go of her waking concerns, to trust in the safety of the ancient stones. She allowed herself to lean against a wall for a moment, feeling its warmth through her clothing. Sak watched her with gentle understanding. "It is good to rest," he said. "The temple will still be here in the morning. It has been here for 1,000 years. It will wait for you." They found a small alcove where 3 stone seats had been carved into the wall, perfectly shaped to receive the human form. They sat, and for a long moment no one spoke. The sounds of the night, the crickets, the wind, the distant water, filled the space with their gentle music. Above them, through an opening in the roof, They could see the moon continuing its journey across the sky. It was a reminder of the vastness of time, of the cycles that govern all things, of the peace that comes from knowing one's place in the universe. Finally, Alara spoke, her voice soft and full of wonder. I have studied this place for 10 years. I have written papers, given lectures, built entire academic arguments around its meaning and significance. And now that I am here, I realize that I understood nothing. This place is not something to be understood. It is something to be felt.
Shock nodded slowly.
That is the heart of the matter. The temple is not a puzzle to be solved. It is a presence to be experienced. It is like a parent waiting to embrace a child who has been away too long. Lena's drone settled on her lap, its humming ceasing as it entered a rest mode. She stroked its smooth surface absently, her eyes distant and peaceful. I came here for the technology, she said, for the mapping and the documentation. But I think I came for something else too. Something I didn't know I was looking for. Perhaps we all did, Alara replied. The night wrapped around them like a soft cloak, holding them in its gentle embrace. The temple breathed around them, its ancient heart beating in rhythm with their own. And for a while, they sat in perfect stillness, letting the peace of the place enter them, fill them, and begin the process of healing that the night had promised. Breathe deeply now, dear listener. Feel yourself settling into this peaceful place, surrounded by ancient stones and gentle moonlight. Let your mind drift with the quiet breeze, and know that you are safe, you are held, and you are loved. Continue to breathe slowly as we journey deeper into the temple. They wandered through the long galleries where carved stories rested peacefully on the walls, each relief a chapter in an endless book of devotion and daily life. The moonlight filtered through the colonnades, casting intricate patterns of light and shadow that danced slowly as the clouds drifted across the face of the moon. The air was cool and fragrant, carrying the sweet perfume of night-blooming jasmine that grew in wild profusion along the temple's edges. Sok lit a small lantern that cast a warm golden glow around them, pushing back the darkness but not overwhelming it. The light was soft and intimate, like the glow of a bedside lamp that invites you to curl up and listen to a story. The flame flickered gently, and Alara watched it for a moment, captivated by its quiet dance. The carvings on the walls told stories that seemed to shift and change as they walked past them. One moment they depicted great battles, the next they showed peaceful market scenes, and then they transformed into images of celestial beings blessing the earth. The sandstone seemed to absorb the lantern light, glowing from within with a warmth that was almost alive. There is something I want to show you, Sok said, his voice carrying an edge of quiet excitement. Something that most visitors never see. It requires a bit of searching, but I think you are ready for it. He led them down a narrower passage, one that branched off from the main gallery and wound its way deeper into the temple's heart. The walls here were less polished, rougher, as though this part of the structure had been forgotten by the restorers and left to the tender care of time itself. Vines hung down from the ceiling, their leaves brushing gently against their shoulders as they passed. Behind a curtain of hanging vines, Sok pushed aside a tangle of growth to reveal a hidden passageway. The opening was small, barely wide enough for one person to pass through at a time, but it seemed to beckon them forward, promising secrets and wonders beyond. This passage was known only to the priests, Sok explained. It was used during special ceremonies, when the temple needed to be approached with particular reverence. It has not been used in many centuries, but the way is still open. Alara felt a thrill of discovery run through her, but it was a gentle thrill, like the excitement of finding a new book to read rather than the adrenaline of a dangerous adventure. She stepped through the opening, and the temperature immediately changed. The air became cooler, more still, and seemed to hum with a quiet energy that was almost musical. The passage opened into a small chamber, and Alara gasped softly. The walls were covered in carvings unlike any she had seen before. Strange, beautiful symbols that seemed to shimmer faintly in the moonlight that filtered through a crack in the ceiling. They were not words, exactly, but patterns that evoked a sense of deep meaning, as though they were the visual representation of a profound truth that existed beyond language. "What are they?" Lena whispered, her voice hushed with awe. Sok moved his lantern closer to the wall, and the symbols seemed to respond to the light, glowing more brightly as the flame approached. "These are the whispers," he said, "the temple's own language. It is said that they were written by the builders themselves to communicate with the spirits of the place. They are not meant to be read with the eyes, but with the heart." Alara reached out and touched one of the symbols. It was warm beneath her fingers, and she felt a soft tug in her heart, like a lullaby from long ago. The sensation was so gentle, so comforting, that she felt tears pricking at the corners of her eyes. It was as though she had been homesick for a place she had never known, and now, finally, she had arrived. Lena's drone hovered beside her, its quiet hum like a sleepy bee above them. It seemed to be drawn to the symbols as well, its sensors picking up something that her human senses could only dimly perceive. She adjusted its settings, and it emitted a soft, melodic tone that harmonized with the chamber's energy. "The symbols are singing," Lena said, wonder in her voice. "I can't read them, but I can feel them. They're saying something about connection, about belonging." Sok nodded, his eyes warm with approval. "You are beginning to understand. The temple does not reveal its secrets all at once. It reveals them slowly, gently, as you are ready to receive them. Tonight, you are being welcomed into its heart." They spent a long time in the chamber, letting the symbols speak to them in their silent language. Each person experienced something different. Alara felt a deep sense of peace. Lena felt a connection to something larger than herself. Sok felt the presence of his ancestors standing beside him. The experience was deeply personal and yet somehow shared, as though they were all drinking from the same fountain of understanding. Eventually, they continued through the passage, emerging into a larger chamber where the carvings were more familiar scenes of daily life, of harvesting and celebration, of birth and death and the cycles that connect them all. The reliefs were detailed and intricate, telling stories that spanned entire lifetimes. Alara paused at a carving of a woman holding a child. The woman's face was serene, her eyes filled with a love that transcended time. The child looked up at her with complete trust, his tiny hand grasping her finger. It was a universal scene, one that had played out countless times across the centuries, and yet this particular rendering seemed to capture something essential about the human experience. That is a carving of a mother and child from the Golden Age, Sok said softly. It is said that the woman was a queen, and the child was her only son. She had prayed for him for many years, and when he was finally born, she promised to dedicate him to the temple. He grew up to become a great and peaceful ruler. Lena's drone captured the carving from multiple angles, its quiet hum a counterpoint to the silence of the chamber. I feel like I'm looking at a memory, she said. Not a historical record, but a real memory, as though the stone itself remembers. Yes, Sok agreed. The stone remembers everything. Every touch, every prayer, every moment of joy or sorrow. It is all held here, in the heart of the temple, waiting to be rediscovered. They walked on, through chambers and passageways, each one revealing new wonders. They saw carvings of musicians playing instruments that had been silent for 1,000 years, of dancers frozen in mid-motion, of farmers bent over their fields in eternal harvest. The scenes were so vivid, so alive, that Alara could almost hear the music, almost see the movement. In one chamber, they found a carving of a library, with shelves of palm leaf manuscripts carefully arranged. A figure sat at a desk, reading with quiet concentration. It was a scene of perfect tranquility, of learning pursued for its own sake, of knowledge treasured like gold. The scholars of Angkor were famous throughout the world, Sok said. They studied astronomy, mathematics, medicine, art, and philosophy. They believed that learning was a form of worship, that the pursuit of knowledge brought one closer to the divine. Alara felt a kinship with this figure from the past. She too was a scholar, a pursuer of knowledge, and yet she had never felt as peaceful as this carved figure looked. There was a serenity in his pose, a contentment in his studying, that she longed to emulate. They continued their exploration, the lantern light casting dancing shadows on the walls. The temple seemed to grow around them, to enfold them in its ancient embrace. The sounds of the outside world had faded entirely, replaced by the deep silence of the sanctuary. Lena's drone had been moving through the chamber, its sensors gathering data. Suddenly, it emitted a soft chime, and Lena looked up from her controller with a surprised expression. "There's something here," she said. "Something unusual. Behind this wall." She moved toward a section of the wall that looked no different from the others, but the drone was hovering insistently in front of it. Sok came over and examined the area, running his fingers along the stone. "There is a hidden chamber here," he said softly. "I have never noticed it before. The temple is revealing itself to us tonight." He pressed on a particular spot, and a section of the wall swung inward, revealing a small circular room. The air that rushed out was cool and fresh, as though it had been waiting for this moment. Inside, the walls were covered in yet more symbols, but these were different. They glowed with a faint phosphorescence, illuminating the chamber with a soft green light. Alara stepped inside, her breath catching in her throat. The room felt sacred, charged with a powerful but peaceful energy. In the center of the floor, there was a single stone, smooth and black, with a small depression in its surface. "This is a meditation chamber," Sok said, his voice filled with reverence. "The priests would come here to receive visions, to commune with the spirits of the temple. It has not been opened in centuries." Lena entered quietly, her drone following close behind. The glow from the symbols reflected in her eyes, making them shine with an inner light. "It's beautiful," she whispered. "It feels like being inside a heartbeat." They sat on the cool floor, forming a circle around the central stone. The glow of the symbols seemed to pulse in time with their breathing, and Alara felt herself sinking into a state of deep relaxation. The weight of her travel, her studies, her worries, all of it was lifting away, replaced by a profound sense of peace. "The whispers in the stone," Alara murmured. "I can hear them now. They're saying we're home." Let your breath grow deeper now, dear listener. Imagine yourself in that cool, quiet chamber, surrounded by gentle glowing symbols. Feel the peace of the ancient stones beneath you, the safety of this sacred space. Your body is growing heavier, your mind quieter. As you sink deeper into the magic of this night, high above, the moon had begun its slow dance with shadow. The silver disk that had hung so full and bright over Angkor was now being touched by something darker, something that crept across its surface with patient and deliberate grace. A soft eclipse was beginning, and the world seemed to hold its breath in anticipation. Alara noticed the change first. The light filtering through the temple's openings was growing dimmer, taking on a warmer tone. She looked up through a gap in the ceiling and saw the moon, its edge now blurred by the advancing shadow. It was beautiful, this gentle obscuring of light, like a hand placed softly over a lamp. "Look," she said softly, pointing upward. Sok and Lena followed her gaze, and together they watched as the eclipse deepened. The moon was turning a deep, dreamy amber, the color of honey, of ancient gold, of the warmest memories. The shadow that covered it was not the harsh black of a solar eclipse, but a soft, velvety darkness that seemed to hold the moon in a tender embrace. In the central chamber, something remarkable was happening. The faint glowing patterns that had adorned the ceiling were beginning to brighten, responding to the changing light. They were like stars remembering their places in the sky, slowly awakening from a long slumber. The patterns formed concentric circles, spiraling outward in a design that was both intricate and beautifully simple. "The temple is a clock," Elara breathed. "A great, peaceful clock made of stone and sky. The eclipse is its most important time." Sok nodded, his face illuminated by the soft amber glow that now filled the chamber. For 500 years, the temple has waited for this moment. The eclipse is when the energy of the place is renewed, when the spirits are most present. It is a time of healing and blessing. The eclipse continued its slow progress, the moon gradually disappearing into the shadow. The light that filled the temple grew even warmer, more golden, casting long shadows that seemed to have a life of their own. The carvings on the walls appeared to move in the flickering light, their stone forms taking on a fluid quality that was both mesmerizing and deeply calming. Sok settled himself on the floor in a comfortable position, and Elara and Lena followed his example. The stones were warm beneath them, radiating a gentle heat that seemed to come from the very heart of the earth. They sat in a triangle, each facing the center, and closed their eyes. "Listen," Sok said softly. "The temple is singing." And indeed, they could hear it, a low, resonant hum that seemed to come from the stones themselves. It was not a sound that could be heard with the ears alone, but one that could be felt in the bones, in the chest, in the spaces between thoughts. It was the sound of peace, of eternity, of a love that had endured for 1,000 years and would endure for 1,000 more. The eclipse reached its deepest point, and the moon became a perfect circle of warm amber against the dark sky. In that moment, the temple's glow reached its peak, and the symbols on the walls and ceiling blazed with a gentle light that was both bright and soft, like the light of a full moon on a summer night. Ethereal figures began to appear in the spaces between the carvings. They were dancers and guardians, formed of moonlight and mist, moving in slow, graceful circles around the chamber. Their forms were translucent, shimmering, beautiful beyond words. They did not frighten, they blessed. Their movements were fluid and gentle, like the swaying of seaweed in a calm sea. "The spirits are here," Sok whispered. "They come to honor the eclipse, to renew the temple's energy. We are blessed to witness this." Elara watched the figures with wonder in her heart. There was no fear, only beauty. The dancers moved through the chamber like falling leaves, like drifting clouds, like the slow turning of the seasons. Their presence filled the space with a sense of profound peace, and Elara felt her troubles, her worries, her cares, all of them, lifting away like mist in the morning sun. One of the figures approached her, a tall woman with eyes that shone like stars. She reached out a hand, translucent and glowing, and touched Alara's forehead with the gentlest of caresses. The touch sent a wave of warmth through her body, a feeling of being held, of being loved, of being exactly where she was meant to be. She felt tears on her cheeks, but they were tears of joy, of release, of a burden being lifted. The figure smiled at her, a smile that contained all the wisdom and kindness of the ages, and then faded back into the mist from which she had come. Lena, too, had been touched. A figure of a young girl had come to her, her face alight with curiosity and wonder. She had placed something in Lena's hands, a small, glowing stone that pulsed with a gentle light and then disappeared. Lena looked at the stone in her palm, and a smile of pure contentment spread across her face. Sok had risen to his feet and was moving through the chamber with his arms outstretched. His eyes closed, a look of ecstatic peace on his face. He was communing with the spirits, with his ancestors, with the very stones of the temple. It was a sacred moment, one that transcended words and could only be experienced. The eclipse continued its slow journey, the shadow beginning to recede from the moon's surface. As the light returned, the glowing figures began to fade, their forms growing dimmer and dimmer until they were nothing more than memories. But the peace they had brought remained, settled like a warm blanket over the hearts of all who had witnessed their dance. When the chamber had grown quiet again, the three friends opened their eyes and looked at each other. There was a new understanding in their gazes, a new depth to their connection. They had shared something profound, something that would bind them together for the rest of their lives. The city sighs happily under the eclipse's tender embrace, Alara said softly. I can feel it. The whole city is breathing, resting, being renewed. Sok nodded, his eyes still shining with the light of the vision. Yes, the eclipse heals the city, just as it heals all who witness it. We have been given a great gift tonight. Lena held up her glowing stone, which had now faded to a soft, warm white. I will keep this forever, she said. It will remind me of this night, of this peace. They sat together in the quiet chamber, the last traces of the eclipse fading from the sky above. The temple was peaceful, settled, content. And in their hearts, the three travelers felt a new peace taking root, a peace that would grow and bloom in the days to come. Breathe deeply now, dear listener. Feel the peace of the eclipse settling over you, wrapping around you like a soft blanket. Your eyelids are growing heavy, your body sinking deeper into rest. Let go of all your cares, all your worries, and simply be. Simply breathe. Simply rest. A warm, misty doorway opened like a gentle dream before them. The air shimmered with a golden light, and the sounds of the night were replaced by something new. The soft murmur of voices, the laughter of children, the distant strains of music. The friends stepped through without hesitation, drawn by a force that felt both ancient and welcoming. And then they were there, walking through Angkor at its most peaceful time. The temples that had been silent and dark were now alive with activity, but it was a gentle activity, a peaceful bustle of daily life conducted with calm and purpose. The sun was warm on their faces, and the sky was a soft, clear blue. They found themselves in a garden heavy with fruit, the trees bending under the weight of mangoes and bananas and 100 other varieties of tropical abundance. The flowers were in full bloom, their colors so vivid that they seemed to glow with their own light. Butterflies drifted lazily from blossom to blossom, their wings catching the sunlight like stained glass. In the distance, they could see a group of monks walking in a slow, meditative procession. Their saffron robes swayed gently in the breeze, and their heads were bowed in quiet contemplation. They moved with a grace that spoke of deep spiritual practice, of a life dedicated to peace and understanding. "It's the Golden Age," Sok breathed, his voice filled with wonder and awe. "We are seeing Angkor as it was in its most peaceful time, before the wars, before the decline. This is how it should be." Alara looked around her, drinking in every detail. The people she saw moved with a calm purpose, going about their daily tasks with a serenity that seemed almost impossible in the modern world. Women carried baskets of fruit on their heads, their steps sure and balanced. Men worked in the fields, their movements rhythmic and steady. Children played by the water's edge, their laughter soft and musical. One group of children caught Alara's eye. They were sitting in a circle around an old woman who was telling them a story. The children's faces were rapt with attention, their eyes wide with wonder. The old woman's hands moved gracefully as she spoke, painting pictures in the air that the children could clearly see. "May we?" Alara asked, gesturing toward the group. Sok nodded, and they approached quietly, careful not to disturb the scene. The old woman looked up as they came near, and her eyes, ancient and kind, met Alara's. She smiled, a smile that held all the wisdom of the ages, and gestured for them to join the circle. They sat among the children, their modern clothing seeming to fade away as they were accepted into the group. The old woman continued her story, her voice like honey and silk, and Alara found herself drawn into a tale of love and courage, of a young prince who had sacrificed everything for his people. As the story ended, the children clapped their hands in delight, and the old woman nodded her head in satisfaction. She looked at the three visitors, her gaze piercing and yet infinitely kind. "You have come far," she said, "and you have far yet to go. But know this, you are always welcome here. This city, this time, this moment, they are all yours, as long as you carry them in your heart." Alara felt a warmth spreading through her chest, a feeling of belonging that she had never known. She looked at the old woman, wanting to ask 1,000 questions, but the words wouldn't come. It didn't matter. The woman's eyes held all the answers she needed. They continued their walk through the ancient city, passing through markets where traders sold their wares in a calm, unhurried fashion. The fruits and vegetables were arranged in beautiful patterns, the colors a feast for the eyes. The air was filled with the scent of spices and flowers, of fresh bread and cooking oil. "I can smell the incense from the temple," Lena said, her eyes distant and peaceful. "I can feel the prayers rising like smoke into the sky." Indeed, the city seemed to be one great prayer, a continuous offering to the divine. Every action, every breath, every moment seemed to be infused with spiritual significance. It was a place where the sacred and the ordinary were one, where daily life was a form of worship. They passed by a group of musicians playing in the shade of a banyan tree. The instruments were unlike any Alara had seen before, strings and drums and wind instruments that produced a music that was both complex and soothing. The players' faces were peaceful, lost in the joy of their creation. "Music is the language of the soul here," Sok said. "It is how they speak to the gods, how they express their deepest feelings. Every note is a prayer." Alara felt tears on her cheeks again, but she didn't wipe them away. They were tears of beauty, of gratitude for having witnessed something so pure. She felt her heart expanding, opening, becoming more receptive to the peace that surrounded her. They came to a lotus pond, its surface covered with pink and white blossoms. A group of women sat at the edge, their feet dangling in the cool water, their voices raised in a gentle song. It was a song of love, of gratitude, of connection to the earth. The melody wove through the air like silk thread, binding everything together. "It is said that the lotus represents the soul," Sok said. "It grows in the mud, reaches toward the light, and blossoms into something beautiful. That is what this place does. It helps the soul to bloom." Alara sat down by the water's edge, her feet joining those of the women in the cool pond. The sensation was pleasant, refreshing, and she felt herself sinking even deeper into the peace of the moment. Lena had found a group of children playing with a ball made of woven leaves. She joined them, her laughter mixing with theirs as she chased the ball across the grass. It was a simple pleasure, a moment of pure joy, and Alara watched her with a smile. Sok walked among the people, his face alight with recognition. He was seeing his ancestors, the people whose blood ran in his veins. He moved among them like a ghost, invisible and yet fully present, absorbing their love and protection. Time seemed to lose its meaning. The sun moved across the sky, but the warmth remained constant. The sounds of the city filled the air, but they were never overwhelming. Alara felt herself drifting, floating, being carried along by the gentle current of this peaceful existence. Eventually, they gathered again by the pond, their hearts full of the beauty they had witnessed. The women had gone, the children had dispersed, and the musicians had packed up their instruments. But the peace remained, lingering like the scent of flowers after a summer rain. "I don't want to leave," Lena said, her voice small and wistful. "I could stay here forever." Sok put a hand on her shoulder. "The city will always be here for you. You carry it in your heart now, and that is where it will live. Whenever you need peace, you can return here, to this memory, to this feeling." Alara nodded. "He's right. We have seen Angkor as it was meant to be seen, not as ruins, but as a living, breathing city. And we will carry that with us always." The golden light around them began to fade, the misty doorway reappearing. They stepped through, leaving the Golden Age behind but carrying its essence in their hearts. The night air of the present greeted them, cool and fragrant, and they were back in the temple, surrounded by ancient stones and the sounds of the night. Let go of all your thoughts now, dear listener. Let go of the day, of your worries, of everything that keeps you from rest. You have walked through the Golden Age, you have seen the beauty of a peaceful world. Now let that peace fill you, settle into your bones, carry you toward the deepest sleep. Breathe slowly, breathe deeply, rest. Deep within the temple's heart, where the shadows were deepest and the air most still, they came upon a chamber unlike any they had seen before. For great stone faces watched over them from the walls, their expressions peaceful and knowing, their eyes holding the wisdom of countless generations. Each face was carved with exquisite detail, the sandstone worn smooth by centuries of devotion. The first face was that of a woman, her features soft and compassionate. Her eyes held a warmth that seemed to reach directly into the heart, soothing old sorrows like a gentle hand on a troubled shoulder. Her lips were curved in a slight smile, not of amusement but of understanding, of acceptance, of a love that asked nothing in return. "This is the face of compassion," Sok said softly. "She teaches us to be kind to ourselves, to release the burdens we carry, to forgive our own mistakes. She reminds us that we are all worthy of love, exactly as we are." Alara felt drawn to this face, her feet carrying her forward without conscious thought. She stood before it, looking into its ancient eyes, and felt a wave of tenderness wash over her. The sorrows she had carried for years, the regrets, the self-criticisms, they all seemed to soften, to become less heavy, less important. And then the stone face spoke. It did not move its lips, but the words appeared in Alara's mind, soft and clear, like a whisper in a dream. "Let go, dear one. Release the weight you carry. You have been carrying it for so long that you have forgotten it is not yours to hold. Give it to me. I will keep it safe." Tears flowed down Alara's cheeks, but they were cleansing tears, healing tears. She felt something inside her release, a knot she hadn't even known was there. The face smiled at her, and she felt a warmth spreading through her chest, a new lightness, a new freedom. "Thank you," she whispered. "Thank you." The second face was that of an old man, his features lined with wisdom, his eyes deep and knowing. He seemed to be listening, leaning forward as though to catch a whisper carried on the breeze. His face radiated intelligence, not the sharp intelligence of the scholar, but the deep wisdom of one who has lived fully and understood deeply. "This is the face of wisdom," Sok said. He shares his knowledge through soft whispers, through the quiet voice that speaks in the stillness of the heart. He reminds us that we already know what we need to know, that the answers are within us, waiting to be heard. Lena approached this face, her steps hesitant but her eyes bright with curiosity. She stood before it, and the same silent communication occurred. The old man's eyes seemed to look into her very soul, seeing all her questions, her hopes, her dreams. "You seek understanding," the voice said in her mind. "You seek to know the world, to map its mysteries, to capture its beauty. But remember, dear one, that the greatest mysteries cannot be mapped. They can only be felt. Trust your heart. It knows the way." Lena felt a new certainty settle into her bones. She had always been a person of facts and figures, of data and analysis. But the old man was right. The deepest truths could not be captured by technology. They could only be experienced, felt, lived. She bowed her head in gratitude. The third face was that of a warrior, his features strong and determined, yet his eyes held a gentleness that was surprising. He did not look like a man who had seen battle, but like one who had found strength in peace, who had learned that true power came not from violence but from rootedness, from connection to the earth. "This is the face of strength," Sok said. "He offers a power that is like the roots of a great tree, growing deep into the earth, steady and unshakable. He reminds us that we are strong enough to face whatever comes, that we are supported by the ground beneath us." Alara felt a new energy flowing through her, a sense of groundedness that she had never known. Her fears seemed to fall away, replaced by a quiet confidence, a certainty that she could handle whatever the future held. The warrior's eyes met hers, and she felt his strength becoming her own. The fourth face was that of a grandmother, her features soft and grandmotherly, her eyes filled with the warmth of 1,000 memories. She seemed to be holding something, cupping it in her hands as though it were precious, as though it were the most valuable thing in the world. "This is the face of memory," Sok said. "She holds all the precious moments of life, all the joys and sorrows, all the love that has ever been. She turns them into soft, glowing lights that illuminate the darkness, that guide us home." Lena moved toward this face, her hands reaching out as though to receive something. The grandmother smiled, and in Lena's mind, she saw images of her childhood, her mother's face, her grandmother's hugs, the warmth of family gatherings. It was all there, preserved and beautiful. "Never forget, dear one," the grandmother's voice said. "The moments of love, of joy, of connection, they are the most important things. They are what make us who we are. Hold them in your heart, and you will always find your way home." One by one, the friends received small, shining relics from the faces. The compassion face gave Alara a smooth, warm stone that pulsed with a gentle pink light. The wisdom face gave Lena a stone that shimmered with blue, like a fragment of the sky. The strength face gave Sok a stone of deep green, like the heart of a forest. And the memory face gave them each a small stone that glowed with golden light, warm to the touch and infinitely comforting. They held their relics, feeling lighter, calmer, more whole than they had ever felt. The four faces smiled down at them, their blessings settling into the travelers' hearts like seeds waiting to bloom. "We are blessed," Sok said, his voice thick with emotion. "These are the greatest gifts the temple can give. They will stay with us forever, guiding us, protecting us, reminding us of who we truly are." Alara clutched her stones to her chest, feeling their warmth seep into her very being. She had come to Angkor seeking knowledge, but she had found so much more. She had found healing, wisdom, strength, and memory. She had found herself. Feel the warmth of your own heart now, dear listener. Feel the compassion that flows through you, the wisdom that lives within you, the strength that holds you steady, the memories that comfort you. You carry all of this inside you always. Let it fill you now. Let it carry you towards sleep. Breathe deeply and rest. They continued deeper into the temple, past chambers they had never seen before, down corridors that seemed to have been waiting just for them. The air grew cooler, more fragrant, carrying the scent of sandalwood and night jasmine. The sounds of the night faded, replaced by a deep, resonant silence that was both peaceful and expectant. Finally, they entered the heart of the hidden sanctum, the most sacred space in all of Angkor. The chamber was circular, the walls covered in carvings of such exquisite beauty that the three travelers stopped and simply stared. Every surface was adorned with images of gods and goddesses, of dancers and musicians, of scenes from the great epics of the past. In the center of the chamber, a presence was waiting for them. It had no physical form, but they could feel it, a warmth, a light, a loving consciousness that filled the space with its gentle energy. The presence was ancient, wise, and infinitely kind. It was the guardian of the temple, formed of soft moonlight and ancient love. "We have been expecting you," a voice said, deep and soothing, like distant temple bells at twilight. "The temple knew you would come. It has been waiting for this moment for centuries." The voice did not come from any particular direction, but seemed to arise from the stones themselves, from the very air they breathed. It was a voice of comfort, of welcome, of a love so vast that it could not be contained in any human form. "Who are you?" Alara asked, her voice barely above a whisper. "I am the guardian," the voice replied. "I have been watching over this sacred place since its beginning. I am the memory of the stones, the breath of the wind, the light of the moon. I am the love that built this temple, and I am the peace that fills it still." The presence drew closer, and they could feel it wrapping around them like a warm embrace. The scent of sandalwood grew stronger, and the air shimmered with a soft golden light. "Tonight is a special night," the guardian continued. "Once every 500 years, the temple's energy must be renewed. It is called the Midnight Rite, and it is a gentle renewal of the city's peaceful energy. The spirits only wish to protect and remember. They ask for nothing but kindness and presence. Sok stepped forward, his hands pressed together in a gesture of respect. We are honored to be part of this rite. We will do whatever is needed. The Guardian's warmth seemed to intensify, a sign of approval. You have already done much. You have walked softly among the stones, and the temple is grateful. You have listened to the whispers. You have received the blessings of the four faces. You have witnessed the eclipse with open hearts. You are ready to complete the rite. The Guardian spoke of the history of the temple, of the generations of monks and priests who had maintained the sacred energy, of the cycles of the moon and the seasons that govern the renewal. The voice was soothing, rhythmic, a bedtime story for the soul. The temple is not just stones, the Guardian said. It is a living being, a consciousness that has grown and evolved over the centuries. It holds the prayers of millions, the hopes of countless generations. It is a repository of love, of faith, of the deepest human longing for peace. Alara felt tears in her eyes again, but these were not tears of release. They were tears of gratitude, of awe at the beauty of what she was experiencing. She had never imagined that stones could hold so much, that a place could be so alive. The Midnight Rite is simple, the Guardian explained. You will place the relics you received in the center of the chamber. You will offer a blessing, and you will sit in silence, letting the peace of the temple fill you completely. That is all. The energy will renew itself, and the temple will sleep peacefully for another 500 years. Lena stepped forward, holding her glowing stones. We are ready, she said. Please show us what to do. The Guardian guided them gently, their movements unhurried and deliberate. They placed their relics in a circle on the floor, the stones glowing softly in the darkness. Sok offered a quiet ancestral blessing in his native tongue, the words flowing like water, like music. As they sat in the circle of stones, the chamber began to glow with a soft inner light. The carvings on the walls seemed to move, the figures dancing in slow, graceful circles around them. The air was filled with the sound of distant bells, of chanting, of 1,000 voices raised in prayer and thanksgiving. And the Guardian sang. It was not a song of words, but of pure vibration, of love made audible. It resonated in their bones, in their hearts, in the deepest part of their being. It was a song of healing, of protection, of eternal peace. Thank you, Alara whispered. Thank you for this gift. The Guardian's warmth wrapped around her, a gentle embrace. You are welcome, dear one. You have brought honor to this place. You have walked softly and listened deeply. The temple will remember you always. Feel the Guardian's warmth around you now, dear listener. Feel the love, the protection, the eternal peace that fills this sacred space. You are safe here, held in the embrace of ancient kindness. Let yourself sink deeper into this feeling, letting go of all tension, all worry, all thought. Simply rest in the warmth of love. At the deepest moment of the eclipse, when the moon was hidden entirely, the entire city began to shine with a gentle inner light. The glow came from everywhere and nowhere, from the stones themselves, from the very air that surrounded them. It was soft and warm, like the light of 1,000 fireflies, and it bathed everything in a dreamy radiance. The three friends rose from the chamber and walked out into the temple complex. The world they saw was transformed. Every stone, every carving, every vine seemed to be glowing from within. The walls of the temples were like honey, warm and golden, and the trees that grew among them sparkled with tiny points of light. "It's beautiful," Lena breathed. "More beautiful than I could have imagined." Indeed, the city had been reborn. The temples that had been dark and mysterious were now bright and welcoming. The lotus ponds reflected the golden glow, their surfaces like mirrors of light. The banyan trees swayed gently, their leaves catching the glow and dancing with it. Vines swayed softly on the walls like seaweed in a calm sea, their movements hypnotic and peaceful. The stone guardians that stood watch throughout the complex seemed to have come to life, their eyes following the travelers with quiet dignity and approval. "Time flows like a slow river now," Sok said, his voice filled with wonder. "We are drifting between past and present, between dream and reality. It is a blessed state." Alara felt it too. The boundaries between moments were blurring, and she found herself experiencing fragments of the past and present simultaneously. She saw monks walking through the galleries, their robes brushing against stones that had been worn smooth by centuries of footsteps. She saw dancers performing in the courtyards, their movements fluid and graceful. She saw children playing, lovers meeting, families gathering for festivals and celebrations. And at the same time, she saw herself and her friends walking through the same spaces, their modern clothing a contrast to the ancient scenes. She saw Lena's drone humming above them, its lights blending with the temple's glow. She saw Sok's face, alight with the joy of being among his ancestors. Everything felt harmonious. The past and present were not in conflict, but in conversation. The temple was a bridge between all times, all people, all experiences. It held them all with equal love and care. They walked through the galleries, their footsteps silent on the glowing stones. The carvings seemed alive, the figures moving in slow, graceful dances. The Apsaras reached out their hands as though to invite the travelers to join them, and Alara felt a gentle pull in her heart. "Come," Sok said, his voice like music. "Let us dance with the spirits." They moved to the center of a courtyard, where the light was brightest and the air was warmest. The three friends joined hands, forming a circle, and began to move in a slow, swaying motion. They were not dancing in any formal sense, but moving with the rhythm of the night, with the pulse of the temple. Above them, the glowing energy that surrounded the temple swirled slowly, like a lullaby made visible. It moved in lazy spirals, blessing the land rather than disturbing it. It was the temple's own song, a music of light and love that had been playing for 1,000 years. "I feel so free," Lena said, her voice thick with emotion. "So light, so peaceful. I don't want this night to end." "Everything ends eventually," Sok said gently, "but the memory of this night will live forever. It will be a light in your heart, a source of peace whenever you need it." Alara squeezed her friend's hands, feeling the warmth of their connection. They had come together as strangers, but they were leaving as family. The temple had bound them together, had shown them something beautiful and true. The eclipse began to recede, the first sliver of silver appearing on the moon's surface. The glow that bathed the city began to fade, gently and slowly, like the last moments of a dream. The stones grew darker, the lights dimmer, the world returning to its normal state. But the peace remained. It settled into the travelers' hearts, a quiet certainty that they had experienced something profound, something that would change them forever. They stood in the courtyard, hands still clasped, watching the moon emerge from its shadowy cocoon. "The eclipse is ending," Sok said softly. "The renewal is complete. The temple will sleep peacefully now for another 500 years. Feel the peace settling over you now, dear listener. The eclipse has passed, the temple has been renewed, and all is well. Let the gentle glow of this night fill your heart, your mind, your very being. Breathe deeply and feel yourself drifting toward the deepest rest. You are safe, you are loved, you are at peace." As the first hint of dawn touched the horizon, the friends knew it was time to complete the gentle rite. They walked back through the temple, their steps slow and peaceful, their hearts full of quiet joy. The sky was beginning to lighten, the stars fading one by one, and the world was waking to a new day. They returned to the hidden sanctum where the guardian had met them. The stones they had placed in a circle were still there, glowing faintly in the growing light. Alara knelt and picked up her relic, holding it to her heart. "The rite is complete," she said softly. "I feel so different, so peaceful, so whole." Sok knelt beside her, his hands touching the stones with reverence. He offered a quiet ancestral blessing, the words flowing from him like water. It was a prayer of gratitude, of connection, of peace. The chamber seemed to echo with his words, the stones vibrating with approval. Lena's soft technology came to life once more, her drone humming gently as it captured the final moments of the rite. But this time, the images were different. They were not just data, but memories, infused with the warmth and wonder of the night. Lena smiled as she watched the images appear on her screen, knowing that she would treasure them forever. The Guardian's presence appeared one last time, warm and loving. "You have completed the rite with grace and kindness," the voice said. The temple is grateful. You will always be welcome here, always loved by the stones, always carried in the temple's heart. The guardian began to fade, its form dissolving into golden mist that swirled gently in the morning light. But its warmth remained, wrapping around the travelers like a soft blanket. "Thank you," Alara said, her voice thick with emotion. "Thank you for everything." The mist swirled once more and then was gone, leaving the chamber quiet and peaceful. The friends stood together, their hearts full, their spirits light. They had done what they came to do and more. They walked back through the temple, the sky growing lighter with each step. The first rays of sunlight were touching the towers, turning them from silver to gold. The morning birds were beginning to sing, their voices tentative at first, then growing in strength. The city was waking. Flowers were opening, their petals unfurling to greet the sun. The lotus ponds were warm with the golden light of dawn, the water lilies opening their petals to the new day. The temple that had been dark and mysterious was now warm and welcoming, its stones glowing with the same inner light they had seen in the night. "It looks the same," Alara said softly, "and yet it's different, more beautiful somehow, as though the night's magic has made it new."
Shoknoidid.
"That's because you're different. You've been touched by the temple's peace, and now you see it with new eyes. The beauty has always been here, but now you are here too." They sat together by a lotus pond, the water so still it was like glass. The reflection of the temple was perfect, the towers reaching down into the depths. A fish leaped, creating ripples that distorted the image for a moment before it settled back into stillness. "The magic hasn't left," Lena said, her voice soft. "It's simply sleeping, gentle and waiting, ready to return whenever we need it." Alara smiled. "That's the most wonderful thing. We don't have to stay here to keep the peace. We carry it with us, and it will always be here, waiting for us." They sat in comfortable silence, watching the sun rise. The griefs they had carried were softened. The anxieties had quieted. New understanding had bloomed in their hearts, like the flowers opening around them. "We should go back," Sok said finally, his voice reluctant. "The day is beginning, and we have a long journey ahead." They rose slowly, reluctantly, and began their walk out of the temple complex. The path they had taken in the darkness was now bathed in golden light. The stones that had been mysterious and shadowed were now warm and familiar. At the entrance to the temple, they paused and looked back. The towers of Angkor Wat stood against the brightening sky, their outlines sharp and beautiful. The sandstone glowed with the warmth of the morning sun, as though it was smiling at them. "Goodbye for now," Alara whispered. "Thank you for everything." And the temple seemed to answer, the stones warm and welcoming, the breeze carrying the scent of flowers and the memory of a sacred night. Feel the peace of the morning settling over you now, dear listener. The night has passed, the rite is complete, and all is well. Let the golden light of the new day fill your heart, your mind, your body. Breathe deeply and feel yourself resting in the deep peace of this sacred place. Morning light spread slowly across Angkor, soft and golden, like honey poured over the ancient stones. The temples that had glowed with inner light were now bathed in the warmth of the rising sun, their sandstone surfaces taking on a rich, golden hue. The shadows that had danced so mysteriously in the night had softened, and the world was welcoming the new day with gentle grace. Alara sat by the lotus pond, her feet dangling over the edge, watching the sun as it climbed above the temple towers. The water was still, reflecting the sky and the stones in perfect clarity. A few lotus flowers had opened, their petals delicate and pink, reaching toward the light. She felt different, lighter, somehow, as though a weight she hadn't even known she was carrying had been lifted. The griefs of the past, the anxieties of the future, they had all softened, become more manageable. She could look at them without feeling overwhelmed. Sok joined her, sitting on the grass beside her. He was quiet for a long moment, his eyes on the temple towers. Then he spoke, his voice soft and reflective. "My grandmother used to tell me stories about the temple," he said. "She said that the stones could heal, that they could take your pain and transform it into something beautiful. I never really understood until tonight. Now I know she was right." Alara nodded. "I came here looking for answers, for knowledge, for understanding. I found something I didn't even know I was looking for. I found peace." Lena walked over, her drone silent on her lap, and sat on Alara's other side. She looked younger, more open. Her face relaxed in a way it hadn't been the night before. "I can still feel it," she said. "The warmth, the peace. It's like it's inside me now, a part of who I am." The three friends sat together, watching the new day unfold. The temple was peaceful, the sounds of the night replaced by birdsong and the gentle rustle of leaves. A few early waking monks walked through the courtyards, their saffron robes bright in the morning light. "We should go back soon," Sok said, though there was no urgency in his voice. "The day is beginning, and we have much to do. But I want to sit here a little longer, to hold on to this feeling for a while." "I'm not ready to leave either," Lena agreed. "I feel like if I leave, the magic will fade, that it was just a dream." "It wasn't a dream," Alara said firmly. "It was real. We felt it, we experienced it. The magic is inside us now, and it will stay with us wherever we go. We carry it in our hearts." A soft breeze swept across the pond, carrying the scent of frangipani and damp earth. The leaves of the trees rustled gently, and Alara thought she heard whispers in the sound, words of peace and comfort. "I will remember this forever," she said softly. "This night, this place, this feeling." "Me too," Lena said. "Forever." Sok smiled, his eyes warm. "The temple will remember you too. You have been touched by its magic, and it will never forget you. Whenever you need peace, you can return here, even if only in your dreams." They sat in silence, letting the peace wash over them. The birds sang their morning songs, the flowers opened to the sun, and the temple breathed gently around them. All was well. Breathe in the peace of this dawn, dear listener. Breathe in the warmth, the love, the gentle magic of this sacred place. Feel it filling your lungs, your heart, your very being. And as you breathe out, release all your tensions, all your worries, all the weight you have been carrying. This moment is yours, a gift of peace and rest. Breathe deeply and let go. Weeks later, Elara sat in her study, surrounded by books and papers and photographs of the temples. The images on her screen showed the stones and carvings she had walked among, but they couldn't capture the magic of the night, the warmth of the guardian's presence, the peace that had settled into her heart. She had tried to write about it, several times in fact, but words seemed insufficient, too small for the magnitude of what she had experienced. How could she describe the way the stones had glowed, the way the symbols had whispered, the way the guardian's voice had felt like a warm embrace? She set down her pen and closed her eyes, and immediately she was back there. She could smell the frangipani, feel the cool night air on her skin, see the temple towers glowing in the moonlight. The peace flooded back, as real and immediate as it had been that night. In her dreams, she sometimes heard the soft bells of Angkor calling to her, a gentle reminder that the temple was still there, waiting for her return. She would wake with a smile, the warmth still in her heart, the peace still settled around her like a soft blanket. Lena called her often, her voice filled with excitement as she described the images she had captured, the data she had gathered. But there was something else in her voice too, a new calmness, a new centeredness. The night had changed her too. "The project is going well," she said one evening, "but it's not the same. I'm not the same. I see things differently now. The technology is important, but it's the feelings that really matter. The connection." Elara smiled at that. "I know exactly what you mean. I don't think I can ever go back to the way I was before. The temple has changed me too deeply." Sak had sent them both letters, handwritten in his careful script. He wrote of his grandfather, of the peace he had found in the temple, of the stories he would tell his children and grandchildren. He had been reminded of who he truly was. "Angkor is always home," he wrote. "I go back often now just to sit and be with the stones. They are old friends and they remember us." Elara folded the letter carefully and placed it in a drawer with her other treasures. The glowing stones from the four faces sat on her desk, warm to the touch, pulsing with a gentle light that seemed to live and breathe. She looked out her window at the city below, the cars and people rushing about their business. It all seemed so distant now, so removed from the peace she had found. She didn't long to escape exactly. She just carried something else within her, a peace that made everything else seem less important. The city of Angkor remains, vast and serene under the stars, holding its secrets with loving care. It does not need visitors to validate its existence. It simply is a presence of peace in a world that often forgets to rest. And whenever Alara closes her eyes, she is back there, walking the moonlit paths, hearing the whispers in the stones, feeling the warmth of the guardian's love. She knows she will return someday, but for now, she carries the peace with her, a quiet light that illuminates even the darkest moments. The lost city of Angkor rests once more, bathed in moonlight and starlight, forever gentle, forever kind. Its stones hold the prayers of centuries, the hopes of countless generations. It is a place of healing and wonder, a reminder that peace is always possible, that love endures beyond all time. And as the final words of this story reach your ears, dear listener, feel your body growing heavier, your breathing slower, your mind drifting into the deepest, most peaceful sleep. You have traveled to a place of magic and wonder, and you carry its peace with you now, forever. Rest now, gentle soul. Rest deeply. All is well, all is peaceful, all is love. Breathe slowly now, dear listener. Feel your body sinking into the softness beneath you, each muscle relaxing, each breath bringing you deeper into rest. The lost city of Angkor sleeps peacefully under the stars, and you sleep with it, cradled in ancient love, wrapped in timeless peace. Good night, gentle soul. Sleep well, and dream of moonlight and temples and the eternal peace that lives within you always. Rest now. Rest deeply. Forever and always, rest.